City, and my dad was really hard on me growing up. I had like a perfectionist mentality about everything. And so like Christian being hard on me was nothing compared to what like I already dealt with. And so I was able to handle that. And I think Christian thought that he would been able to get under my skin more than he probably actually did. But yeah, I mean, we had our moments, but it's all about like challenging each other too. Like he, I think, doubted sometimes if I was given everything I had, but like that was never true. So there was always going to be like conflict, but we were like willing to face conflict, not like, run away from it. And that's what I try and talk to our team about. Like be willing to expose yourself to the possibility of failing. Like that's a possibility. Like it was a possibility in that game, but at the same time, if you do that and you go all in, then you might be close to perfection. Like as an athlete, Sean, like playing in that game reminds you about like how great it is to almost be involved in something that was so perfect. And that's what you strive for. Can you get to the top of your game? Can someone else be that good that they elevate you so that you take your game to another level? And that happened like over and over and over throughout that game. So I know I just totally ducked your question about.
No, you didn't. You actually didn't. Listen, I'd love to ask you the best story with you and Christian, fighting and going at it. I don't know if you're going to go there, but that would be a hell of a story if you're willing to.
But here's the deal with that. I can piggyback on that. Bob ain't no punk, okay? And whatever Christian was doing, because Bob came in with some accolades and, Coach K handed him the ball and said, you're my point guard, where Christian thought that he had to earn his deal more so than Bob did, okay? That's feelings. We all have feelings. And with that, if that's what Christian held over his head, then that's okay. That's Christian's feelings. But what I know and what Christian has never said was, yeah, I mess with Bob. I try to get under his skin, but I promise you, and I never was there, just knowing what Bob's like, because Rod Rhodes is like my little brother. And Rod Rhodes played with Bob for a little bit at St. Anthony's. Bob was going to hear Christian, but Christian wasn't going to just pump Bob to where Bob was just going to say, hey, you the man. That's probably what kept Christian going, dealing with Bob, because he couldn't break him. Where probably Grant was probably more of a non-controversial type of guy, and Brian and him were buddies more so than anything else, and everybody else just followed suit. Well, there's nothing that Christian Laettner can do to Bob Hurley that's already been done. Bob Hurley grew up on the streets of Jersey City. Christian Laettner don't hold a stick to probably, Bob Hurley getting out of the cage because somebody's jealous of Bob because, this white guy coming over in the hood playing and people talking about him and ain't talking about that guy. So I know doggone well that's probably what made it even more. If Bob would have bowed down to Christian, it wouldn't have been no deal and they wouldn't have been as good. But because Bob was so already tough and had savvy, he already probably knew what Christian was all about, and he wasn't going to let Christian punk him. And guess what? Christian needed Bob to be Christian once Bob got there, and I don't care what nobody says.
I mean, I think a lot of there's a lot of truth to what Sean said. And I don't know exactly what Christian's motivations were, but I know that his primary motivation was winning. And, again, never played with a more clutch guy in my career. And, Sean mentioned the comparison with Shaq, and I think the thing that made Christian so great was just his versatility and being able to move him all around the court, and that was huge for us, just having that versatility. And I think that's part of the reason even that Kentucky played a lot of zone. It's just hard to script offense for Christian. If you're going up against zone, you try and get him into space where he can catch it. But yeah, I mean, our dynamic wasn't always fun to go through, he and I. But I think he's, again, he pushed me knowing that they needed me to win and be at my best. So he was always trying to keep me accountable, and I think that was his motivation with all that stuff.
Like that old saying in the hood, game recognizes game, and we're not here right now doing this if it wasn't for our upbringing, and we come up kind of the same way, you from Jersey City and me from Gary, but we were blessed to play for some of the coaches that we played for. We were blessed to play for some of the guys that we played with. And it seems like a perfect script, but we had a perfect cast. And, you know, nobody, whether it was the walk-on on your team or the guys that didn't play very much, everybody who, you know, the game of athletics in general, I don't care if it's the last person, the best person, everybody has a part to play in you and I's lives, just like Christian's lives, just like Jamal's life. And we're fortunate. You know, we're fortunate to be one of the top guys coming out of high school. We're fortunate to take our teams to the highest level in college. And, man, you know, it's gratifying. And I turned 50 on Sunday. That game was a day before my birthday. So that day always resonates with me, you know. And Bob, I know it does you. And man, I'm proud of you. You know, you got in the horse business. You know, you got into the sport of kings.
Not what I'm supposed to be doing now.
But you came back home, man, to give back to what you naturally doing, and you and your brother. And you know, we're point guards, you know, and you know, nobody knows how to run teams better than us, and that's the reason why you're successful at what you're doing, and I'm successful still at what I'm doing, man. And